Thank you for joining us. We are this on the Smart Girl podcast on Africa One here on Empire. Today we have our guest Adrian Walker. He is an author, and he came all the way to Minnesota from LA to come visit us here. So I'm gonna go ahead and introduce us to Adrian Walker. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I was born and raised here, also known as A.C. Walker, the author. So yeah, I was born and raised here, shipped out
Thank
to
you for joining us.
California, San Diego, California. I've been out there almost 7 years, and it's been quite the journey, quite the journey. So I'm back in town, visiting, and yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So for the viewers that don't know who you are, who is Adrian? Like, how did you start your journey? Like, for the people that don't know, you have this book through the fire.
Yes.
Like, what inspires you to create this book?
Well, I once was a person with cancer. I've survived cancer twice, for starters.
Okay.
Not only did I survive cancer, I've survived homelessness. I've survived 2 failed marriages, abuse as a child and as an adult. And so what motivated me to write this is to be able to help others, people that have underwent any type of life circumstance.
Right.
And showing them how you too can get through the fire.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And just like, I know with the book and everything that you coming out with, like, all these things that you have been through, it inspired you to just write this. Like, what was your determination to finish it and really put it out there to the public? Like,
Well, I want to say it was pretty hard. First of all, it took 4 years to write.
okay.
And I had to, take some step backs. I cried, put some literal blood, sweat, and tears into this. And I just needed to get this out there to the masses. For me, it wasn't about the money. It was
Right.
about the message.
Right.
And a lot of people have been crying out and hurting for things such as the stories that I've shared
Right.
and how to get out of it. People that I've coached and counseled have had similar situations, and I figured, why not put this out into a book?
Absolutely, absolutely. And as an entrepreneur, I know you're entrepreneurial
Yeah.
and everything like that. Actually, me and Adrian, we actually got some history. Like, I know you told me about your, it was marriage.
Matters.
Marriage Matters,
Yes,
which was
yes.
awesome. You got a clothing line out there as well.
Yes.
And what inspired you to do Marriage Matters, by the way?
So Marriage Matters came about started off as a vision, but the whole purpose of it is to intentionally break the back of divorce.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
divorce rates, they're people like, oh, they're not high. They're
Skyrocketing.
still high.
Right, right.
And marriage has been perverse, as you know, throughout these, shows that we watch.
Mm-hmm.
All the reality TV shows, it's been truly perverse.
Right.
So that's that whole idea, that whole premise, intentionally breaking the back of divorce.
Right. So for the viewers out there that don't know what Marriage Matters is, what would you say? Like, how would you encourage somebody that's in a relationship right now, that is in a marriage, that is going through a tough period in their time right now?
I would say, I'm a believer of God, so I would say seek God, first. He has to be at the center.
Right.
Prayer definitely does work. Depending on the situation, you may have to seek counseling.
Okay.
If you are going through a storm.
Right.
Usually people go to the person that married them, as far as, a religious institution, their pastor or something like that. And if it goes beyond that, then seek a professional. Don't be scared of that.
Right, to reach out and find somebody that can help you in
Yeah,
that
fight for
situation.
your marriage, though. Fight for it.
Right, right.
Too many people just dropping out before the ink's dry.
And what kind of like what in your certain situations that you were in, how were you able to fight? Like, what made you fight for everything that you have right now?
Well, God, really, I've always been a fighter. Always. Through the cancer, the homelessness, all that stuff I mentioned.
Right.
Suicide, even at that lowest point, God showed up.
Right.
So it's just the fight within me.
Right.
Really.
Okay.
Kind of hard to explain, but as simple as that, it's within me.
Yeah. And like, how did you feel when you were going through some of those situations? Like, I know you kind of told me a little bit, like you said you were molested as a young boy.
Yeah.
like at what age, and like how did you heal from that?
So it was the Boy Scouts of America, one of the scout leaders. And this was before that all that whole thing came out. I was about 9 years old, only black boy
Mm-hmm.
in the troop, and the the feeling I had, it was internal pain.
Yeah.
It didn't feel good at all. I knew it was wrong,
Right.
and he took advantage of me.
Right.
And the process that happened from me having enough strength to tell my mother how it was handled, which,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, I didn't think was handled right,
Right.
to his own demise. He ended up dying of cancer.
Wow.
So for me, knowing that
Mm-hmm.
helped a little bit. Still haven't fully been over it, because that pain is still there, but it doesn't define me.
Right. Right. You can still feel the pain, but you're like, this doesn't define who I am and where I'm going and stuff like
Right.
that. And I could feel that because even through my trials and tribulations, I always like what I went through doesn't define who I am as a woman and what I'm becoming, as God is always in me.
Right.
And so with you, I've always been inspired because I'm like, oh my God, this man has been through the most, but he just keeps pushing
Right.
and persevering. And that is so beautiful and so amazing. And
Thank you.
I really love that. I love your spirit and everything that you're doing. Like when I see Marriage Matters, I was like, yes, somebody is out here. And as far as a man too, a man
Yeah.
actually pushing that.
Yeah.
Because, it's a lot of women, like, we want to stand up for our marriage, and a lot of women
Right.
fight for our marriage, but you don't always see a lot of men fighting for their marriage as well.
Right.
So it's nice to see a black man at that, fighting
Yeah.
for, like, look, marriage matters, like, let's really push this. And I really want to say that I respect that, and
Thank
I
you.
think that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
So let's go back to the book, like, Through the Fire, man, Through the Fire. So I also hear that you want to create, you're going to be making a movie out of this
Yes.
book.
Yes. So the movie is going to happen.
Right.
It's definitely going to happen. And yes, we still need to raise money for that. So if anybody goes to my page, to AC Walker, the author,
Right.
they'll see all the links to donate for that. Can't be done by itself, but it's
Right.
definitely a message that needs to go out to the masses, and many want to hear it.
Absolutely.
They want to hear it.
Absolutely.
And if you've, or anyone has, or at one point will read my book, you'll see why this would be a great movie. Great motivational one. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Because we need. I think what it is that, like you said, we were talking about it earlier, but it's like a lot of our culture. We always talk about don't talk about what's inside of our home outside to the public or to somebody
Right.
else. So how would you say to the public, like, you know what, you need to reach out to somebody else, you need to get help, or like, what would you say to these young kids, the youth, the people that are out here that are struggling right now?
Yeah, so we grew up, a lot of us grew up in that culture where, what is said in this house stays in this house. To an extent, yes, that's true, but there's certain buried pains that have crippled the minds and hearts of people from then and even now, to where holding that in has been more of a damage than anything. So you do need to talk to somebody to release that. Don't let someone else's whatever they put on you be that definition of you.
Right.
Don't
Right.
let it
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, exactly. No, and that's kind of like, because I see a lot of our youth and just a lot of people going through certain things, and it's kind of like, okay, how do we talk about this? Because you feel like you're by yourself,
Yes.
and they feel like they're solo, like I'm the only one going through this,
Yeah.
and they're really not the only one going through it. There's so
Right.
many other people that are going through the same exact trials and tribulations and problems, and it's like, how do they reach out to the right people to get the right help and the right resources and things like that? Like, what are the avenues? Like, how did you figure out how to get help in your situations? Like, how did you reach out?
So for me, I didn't reach out at first, aside from telling my parents about what happened.
Yeah.
Outside of that, that's where it stopped.
Okay.
Not trying to tell too much of the book, but my parents were, don't worry about it, God got it. Of course, they did what they could on their end.
Right.
But God got it was their response, and ultimately it was his demise. But for me, it took me writing this book to release that pain.
Right.
And then after that, I realized that I needed to seek outside help to talk to someone. I'm always coaching and helping others, but you know, I need to talk to somebody too. So I sought out a therapist. So our culture has the tendency to kind of shun away from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we need not to. You know, don't be scared to talk to someone. Seek, you know, proper counsel, wise counsel.
Right. Somebody that you feel like you can trust, that you can feel like they can help you, that they actually have the knowledge and the wisdom to actually...
Either a licensed professional or someone that is in a licensed religious organization like a church.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely,
those are the type of people you should talk to. And if, sad to say, if it was somebody within that religious institution or your home, you have to seek outside of that.
Exactly.
You have to.
Yeah, and I feel you when it comes to like I said, I feel like our culture and our people, we don't seek out therapists. We look at therapists as a bad thing, and it's like, no, it's not a bad thing.
Right.
It's actually it's healing.
Yes.
It's healing for your soul and your mental state of mind. And I think that a lot of us are we shun people. We talk down on them because you're seeing a therapist. You know, like it's not a good thing. Like, no.
Right.
This is good for you. You need the healing. We need this as our people as we come in and stuff like that. And I was just gonna say, like, how did you when you did seek out that kind of help that you did seek out, did you feel like it was enough help for you at that time?
At the time, yes.
Yeah.
I felt it was.
Okay.
I really did, because there was a point in time where I did contemplate suicide.
Right.
And suicide is also something that is running rampant, you know, in our world.
Right.
You know, let's take Minnesota for example.
Yeah.
We lack vitamin D here.
Yes.
Not enough sun.
Right.
Which could lead to depression. That alone needs to be addressed. That by itself, you just take that.
Yeah.
And then you add on your life problems on top of that.
Exactly.
And they just stack up, and you're not talking to anybody about it.
You're bottling it all in.
Yeah.
You're not letting your emotions flow and letting it out. Like, I know it's crazy because I lived in Anchorage, Alaska for a little bit too, and there's a lot of suicidal actually in Alaska as well as Minnesota, because we do have that dark kind of like time where there's no sun and things like that.
Exactly.
And that does affect your attitude and everything like that. And I was gonna say, like, is that one of the reasons why you moved to California?
No. I definitely needed a change. But that definitely wasn't the main reason.
Right, the main reason. Right. And I was gonna say, in California right now, you know, with your book, you know, where can people like buy your book right now?
They can buy it at acwalkertheauthor.com.
Okay.
Or Amazon, Barnes and Noble.
Right.
Yeah, it's a very readily available. Audible.
Yes. Audible? Nice.
Yes, it's on Audible. Yep.
Okay.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Kindle.
Yeah. And I know you told me about you're gonna have a book signing coming up soon.
Yes.
Tell the people where they can get, if they want to buy your book here in Minnesota. Where they can get their book signed and everything like that.
So tomorrow I will be at Barnes and Noble Woodbury.
Okay.
It's on Radio Drive.
Yes.
And I'll be there 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay.
So I'll be there signing, taking pictures.
Nice.
There will be a photographer there, so dress your best.
Awesome. You guys heard it, man. Okay, so I want to also do this because for the people, Adrian Walker said he wanted to give a prize giveaway to his guest today, you guys. This is awesome. This is really, really awesome. For the viewers that are tuning in right now, he is going to ask a question, and the first one that gets the question right, we are going to give away Through the Fire.
Yes.
So go ahead, Adrian, kind of go ahead and give the people the question here for them.
All right. So the first person that answers will get this book. So the question I have is, what is the suicide rate of 2018 in America? What is the suicide rate in 2018 in America? First person answer wins.
First person wins. Any viewers that are on right now, say it again, Adrian, for the people that don't know.
What is the suicide rate in America, 2018? Suicide rate.
You guys, there's Google. You better use it right now. Whoever gets it first.
If you don't know
whoever gets it first, man. You guys, you're getting this book right here. This is a beautiful book right here. This is a healing. This is transformational. This is amazing. Like, and you're gonna win this. So whoever gets the answer right, you're going home with this. Okay.
And it'll be autographed.
And autographed. You hear that? Autographed by the one and only Adrian Walker. Okay, who is going to get this? Okay, let's do it. Let's do it, you guys. Come on, let's get it. Who's gonna get it first? Who's gonna get it first? She's like, let's go. Like. So I was gonna say, Adrian, while we're waiting, we're gonna wait to see who gets this answer.
Right.
You said who got it? Who said it? Who said it? Liz? What did Liz say? What did Liz say? Hello, Liz. 14 what, Liz?
14.2 per 100K individuals.
14.2? Is that right, Adrian?
14.2 what?
Per
100K.
100K?
Yes.
Yes, that is right. That is right, Liz. Okay.
Congratulations, Liz.
Congratulations, Liz. You getting that book, girl.
So the reason why I asked that question is because I wanted to bring awareness to suicide. So there's suicide prevention hotlines and all that. I'm a real big advocate for that. I'm a big advocate for helping people.
Absolutely.
Especially in our own culture. Like, don't do that. And real quick, I actually had a conversation with a guy, and Uber's just one of the other things I do.
Right.
So this guy around Christmas time he was in my vehicle. We were just having a conversation about my life before the book even came out.
Okay.
And once we got to his destination, he said, "You know what? I was going to kill myself as soon as I left out of here." I dropped him off at the trolley train tracks.
Wow.
And he said, because of the story you shared with me, I felt, how dare I feel the way that I feel? And you went through all that you went through.
Right.
So we talked, we prayed, and we still talk to this day.
Yeah.
He's doing good.
Yeah.
But you never know who crossed your path.
Absolutely.
Who you're entertaining.
Yes.
Just a simple conversation could save someone's life. So don't shun away those people who are trying to tell you something about them.
Exactly.
They could be contemplating suicide. I've lost family to that.
Yes.
It's a very serious thing. So
it's very serious. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that, Adrian. Man, you guys, I am so happy Adrian joined us today. Like, I'm just so happy that you're here with me. Coming all the way from Los Angeles, LA?
Well, I flew in from LA, but
San Diego?
Yeah.
San Diego?
Yeah.
Okay, he came all the way to see us, you guys. So, I want to say hi to all these people on here: Clement, Dixon, Liho, Bolani, Monstret. Of course, Kimmy. All the loves, everybody that came on here and is just joining us. I'm just happy that you guys joined us today.
Yes, thank you.
And like I said, shout out to Adrian Walker for coming here
out to you.
San Diego. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Well, shout out to my wife. Shout out to my wife.
Shout out to your wife too. Absolutely.
She helped with the drive and all that.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
she's
amazing. She's awesome.
Oh, that's love. That's love. That's support.
Yeah.
That's how you know marriage matters.
Yeah, it matters. Right? It really does.
Seriously.
Yeah.
No, for real. I mean, I I know it's our last little bit of time, but I just want to say, like, is there anything that you want to say to these people other than I love that you shared that story with us?
Yeah.
And is there any last words that you would like to, say to the audience? Like, where could they, like I said, where they could pick up your book? How can they follow you? How can they, reach out to you, Adrian Walker? Like,
yeah, AC Walker, the author, for everything. Social handles. acwalkertheauthor.com is where you can donate for the movie. You can buy the book.
Yes, you guys, that movie. Sorry.
Yeah. You guys can be a part of history.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes.
This is going to happen irregardless, but I would love your help. We need your help to make this happen.
Yes. So you guys, you heard from him, okay? You heard from Adrian Walker. Go check him out tomorrow. He's going to be at Barnes & Nobles in Woodbury.
Yes, Woodbury.
And
Woodbury.
Radio Drive.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's going to be at Barnes & Noble. He's going to be signing books. So make sure you go check him out.
Yes.
Follow him. You guys support him. The movie is going to come out, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited to just watch this. It's going to be amazing. Like, I'm just excited for the whole process to happen. But like I said again, thank you so much for coming here.
Thanks for having me.
For
it was an
just
honor.
being here and sharing everything that you shared with us today. Like, I really truly appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate
you.
And
Liz, you won that book, girl.
Yes.
You won that book.
Congratulations, Liz. It'll be autographed.
And for that, you guys, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today. This is the Smart Girl Podcast. I love to have entrepreneurs on here, inspirational leaders, inspirational people, motivators, and everybody that comes on here. I love to share the love. I love to share inspiration. I'm just happy you guys tuned in. It's Christina Marie, you guys. Peace out. Love you.